Hi, I'm Christie and today I'm going to take you through some suggestions on how to place your hands on your mat to support your upper body when you're doing poses such as table, plank, down dog, and a multitude of others. A lot of people complain that they get wrist pain or hand pain when they have their hands on their mat. And that really is because the hands are not positioned and placed properly. So a few things to think about. When you place your hands on your mat, you want your hands to be shoulder width apart. So if your hands are too close together, there's no support for the torso. And if your hands are too far apart, again, there's a collapsing through the chest that takes place, neither of which are good. So we want the hands shoulder width apart. Another thing is you don't want your fingers together. You want your fingers spread. And a lot of people have difficulty with that. And so that just takes practice. You know, you can just gently spread your fingers. There's lots of hand and finger exercises you can do to help prepare you. Keep in mind though that when we're typing all day long or texting or on social media, our fingers tend to not be used properly. So we want to be able to stretch and lengthen our fingers as opposed to just keep them flexed. So think about those two things. So shoulder width apart and fingers spread. Now I'm going to take you through a couple of steps that you can do to place your hands on your mat. So most of the time when we put our hands on the mat, we just put them down. And oftentimes we kind of curl our hands and our fingers, so what happens is automatically the pressure goes on the base of the palms, which is not what we want. So what I suggest is start with the fingers. So what we want is when we spread our fingers, there's usually one finger that stays pointing straight. So that finger is the first finger that goes down. It's parallel to the edge of the mat. And imagine that your fingerprints are gripping the mat, not your fingertips, but your fingerprints are grabbing the mat, and then lengthen your fingers toward you, imagining that the fingerprints are gripping the mat. And when you do that, you'll actually notice that the focus of the weight is placed more in the upper part of the hands as opposed to the base of the palms. You have your whole hand on the floor, so both of my hands are on the mat, flat. We have an arch in the middle of our palms, so that's normal. The whole palm is not flat, but I'm not putting extra pressure on the base of the palms because I've focused and intended the fingers and the thumbs to get most of the weight. So, shoulder width apart, fingers spread, and lengthening your fingers and thumbs so that you imagine strength or energy flowing down and out, not down and down, but down and out. And then you want to stabilize your shoulder joints. So what you want to do is go from an internal rotation of the shoulder joints to an external rotation of the shoulder joints. I'm not straining through my elbows, and I haven't moved my hands. It's a rotation. It looks like it's the arms that are moving, but it's actually the shoulder joints that are a ball and socket, to make it pretty simple. But the shoulder joints are a ball and socket joint. So that's where the rotation goes. And here, when you're pressing into your fingers and thumbs and your upper palms a little bit more than the base of your palms, and you've got your shoulder joints externally rotated, you can go from a solid table into a solid plank into a solid down dog. We want our body to be supported. And for that to happen, we do have to work for it. So I hope that was helpful. Learning to position your hands in a supportive way will help you through your entire yoga practice, but will also alleviate strain in your wrists. And instead of strain, you're going to strengthen. Until next time, namaste.